I was standing there in front of 50 guests, my dress torn at the shoulders, red wine dripping down the navy blue fabric I'd saved 3 months to buy. My mother-in-law was laughing. My sister-in-law had just ripped the strap with her own hands. And my husband. He stood frozen across the lawn, pretending not to see. I thought my life was over. I had no idea that in 60 seconds, everything would change. My father was about to walk through that gate, and these people had no clue what was coming for them. My name is Victoria, and this is the story of how I went from being the most humiliated woman at a garden party to watching my toxic in-laws lose absolutely everything. If you've ever been treated like you're worthless by people who thought they were better than you, stay with me until the very end. What happened next still gives me chills when I think about it. And before we start, hit that like button and subscribe, because this is one revenge story you absolutely cannot miss. Let me take you back to the beginning. I grew up in a small town where everyone knew everyone. My childhood was simple but happy. My father, William, worked overseas for most of my life. He'd come home twice a year, maybe 3 times if we were lucky. I knew he worked in business, something international, but he never talked about it much. We lived comfortably, nothing fancy, and I never questioned it. My mum passed away when I was 16, and after that it was just me and Dad's occasional visits. He made sure I had everything I needed for college, and I worked part-time jobs to cover the rest. That's where I met Nathan. He was charming, kind, and came from what he called a good family. We dated for 2 years, and he seemed perfect. He'd talk about his family's estate, their social circle, but it never felt like bragging. It just seemed like his normal. When he proposed, I was over the moon. My father couldn't make it to the wedding because of some urgent business deal overseas, but he sent his blessings and a generous check. I understood. Work was work. The problem started the very first time I met Nathan's family. His mother, Helena, opened the door wearing pearls and a dress that probably cost more than my entire wardrobe. She looked me up and down like I was something stuck to her expensive shoes. Her first question wasn't "nice to meet you" or "welcome," it was, "So you're from where exactly?" The way she said it made my hometown sound like a disease. Nathan's father, Gregory, barely looked up from his newspaper, and his sister, Beatrice, whispered something to Helena that made them both smirk. I heard the word quaint, and I knew exactly what they thought of me. After the wedding, Nathan suggested we live in the guest cottage on his family's property. "Just until we save enough for our own place," he said. I agreed because I wanted to make him happy. That cottage became my prison. Every single day, Helena would find something wrong. My cooking was too simple. My cleaning wasn't thorough enough. The way I dressed was inappropriate for a woman in this family. Beatrice would drop by uninvited, look through my closet, and laugh at my clothes. "Are these from a discount store?" she'd ask, holding up a perfectly nice blouse like it was contaminated. Nathan would tell me I was overreacting. "They're just trying to help you fit in," he'd say. But I wasn't fitting in. I was being crushed. I got a part-time job at a local bookstore, and even that became ammunition for them. Helena told her friends I worked retail, saying it with the same tone you'd use for sewage treatment. Gregory made jokes about me, finally contributing something. Beatrice posted photos on social media of family gatherings where I was conveniently cropped out or standing in the background like hired help. I felt myself getting smaller every day. The confident girl who'd graduated with honors and had dreams of maybe starting her own business someday was disappearing. I was becoming this anxious, quiet shadow who apologized for existing. Then Helena announced the garden party. It was going to be their biggest event of the year. "Everyone important will be there," she said, looking directly at me. "Which means you need to look presentable. Actually presentable, Victoria, not your usual situation." Beatrice laughed. Nathan said nothing, as usual. I decided right then that I was going to prove them wrong. I was going to show up looking beautiful, and maybe, just maybe, they'd finally see me as worthy of being part of this family. I saved every penny from my paychecks for 3 months. I skipped lunches. I didn't buy anything for myself. Finally, I had enough to walk into a real boutique and buy a dress that made me feel beautiful. It was navy blue, elegant, with delicate beading along the neckline. When I tried it on, I almost cried. I looked like I belonged. I looked like someone who deserved respect. The day of the party, I spent hours getting ready. I did my hair, my makeup, everything perfect. When I walked out of that cottage, I actually felt confident for the first time in a year. The party was already in full swing when I arrived. There must have been 50 people scattered across the lawn, all holding champagne glasses and laughing in that polite, controlled way wealthy people do. For the first hour, I actually thought things might be okay. A few people even complimented my dress. I was standing near the garden fountain, finally breathing normally when I saw Helena and Beatrice spot me from across the lawn. The way their expressions changed, I should have run right then. They walked toward me with these smiles that didn't reach their eyes. Helena spoke first, loud enough for people nearby to hear. "Victoria, darling, where did you get that dress?" There was poison in the word darling. I told her proudly that I'd saved up and bought it myself. I actually thought she might be impressed. Beatrice burst out laughing. "Oh, honey," she said, "that style is so dated. Where did you even find something like that?" People were starting to stare. Helena circled me like a predator. "You're embarrassing us," she hissed. "This is exactly why I told you to let me choose your outfit. You clearly have no idea what's appropriate for our events." I tried to defend myself. I told them the dress was new, that the woman at the boutique said it was perfect for garden parties. Helena's face twisted into something ugly. "Perfect," she sneered. "This is a disaster. If you won't change immediately, I'll make sure you have to." Before I could process what she meant, she grabbed a glass of red wine from a nearby table. I watched in slow motion as she raised it, her eyes locked on mine. Then she threw it. The cold liquid hit my chest, and I gasped. The red wine spread across the navy blue fabric like blood. Guests gasped. Some people laughed. I stood there frozen, dripping, unable to believe what had just happened. "How could you do this?" I whispered, tears already streaming down my face. Beatrice stepped forward, her smile vicious. "Oh, please, it was ruined anyway." Then she reached out and grabbed the strap of my dress at the shoulder. I felt her fingers dig into the fabric, and then she pulled. The sound of tearing filled my ears. The strap ripped completely, and the dress sagged on one side, exposing my shoulder and bra strap. I grabbed at it desperately, trying to hold it up. Helena moved to my other side and yanked the other strap. Another rip. Now both straps were torn, and I was clutching the bodice to my chest, wine-soaked and sobbing in front of everyone. "This trash doesn't belong at our party anyway," Helena announced to everyone watching. Some guests looked uncomfortable, but no one helped. No one said a word. Gregory was laughing with a group of men, pointing at me. And Nathan, I found him across the lawn. Our eyes met. He looked away. He literally turned around and walked in the other direction. That moment broke something in me that I didn't even know could break. I ran toward the house, holding my torn dress, hearing laughter following me. But I couldn't go inside. I couldn't face them anymore. I collapsed on the front steps, sobbing so hard I could barely breathe. I don't know how long I sat there. Maybe 5 minutes, maybe 10. I was considering just running away, leaving everything behind, when I heard car engines. Multiple car engines, expensive ones. I looked up through my tears and saw 3 vehicles pulling up to the gate. A Rolls-Royce in front, 2 Mercedes behind it. The gates opened and they drove right up to the house. Guests started murmuring, confused. This wasn't on the invitation list. Car doors opened and men in expensive suits stepped out. Security, I realized. Assistance. And then the back door of the Rolls-Royce opened and my father stepped out. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. My dad wore a perfectly tailored grey suit that probably cost more than a car. His shoes gleamed. He had an air of authority I'd never seen before. "Dad," I choked out. He saw me immediately, and his expression changed from businesslike to devastated in 1 second. He rushed over, and I saw his eyes take in everything: my torn dress, the wine stains, my tears, my complete destruction. His jaw clenched so tight I thought it might crack. Helena came rushing over, suddenly sweet as sugar. "Oh, you must be Victoria's father. What a wonderful surprise. Welcome to our home." My father didn't even look at her. He knelt beside me, and his voice was gentle. "Who did this to you?" I couldn't speak at first. I just sobbed. He pulled off his suit jacket and wrapped it around my shoulders, covering the torn dress. "Tell me," he said quietly, "who hurt my daughter?" I pointed at Helena and Beatrice, who were now standing frozen, probably confused why this man was treating me with such obvious love and respect. My father stood slowly and turned to face them. His voice was ice. "You did this to her." Helena tried to laugh it off. "It was just a misunderstanding. She wore an inappropriate dress, and we were trying to—" My father cut her off. "You assaulted her. You destroyed her property. You humiliated her in public. Do you understand what you've done?" Gregory finally approached, puffing up his chest. "Now wait just a minute. Who do you think you are, coming to my property and—" He stopped mid-sentence. I saw the recognition hit his face like a truck. The color drained completely. "William Lancaster," he whispered. My father smiled, but it wasn't friendly. "You do remember? Good." The entire party went silent. I saw guests pulling out their phones, whispering frantically. Beatrice's eyes went wide. "Wait," she stammered. "The William Lancaster, Lancaster International." My father nodded. "The very same." I was still confused. Lancaster International. I'd heard that name before on the news in newspapers. It was one of the biggest corporations in the world, billions in revenue. My father who sent me sweet emails about missing home-cooked meals and asked about my college classes. "That's impossible," Helena whispered, but her voice was shaking. My father turned to address the whole party. "Let me explain something to all of you. I'm William Lancaster, CEO of Lancaster International. My daughter Victoria is my only child. For the past year, she's been living in a cottage on this property, being treated like garbage by these people. Today, I came here for a business meeting with Gregory. Your company, Gregory, is failing. You've been counting on my acquisition offer to save you from bankruptcy. That meeting was scheduled for next week." Gregory's face went from white to grey. "Was," he croaked. My father nodded. "Was, past tense. The deal is cancelled. As of this moment, your company has no lifeline. You have approximately 6 months before complete collapse." Helena grabbed Gregory's arm. "He can't do that," she shrieked. "We have lawyers. We have contracts." My father's assistant stepped forward with a briefcase. Actually, the agreement was pending final approval, which Mr. Lancaster has full authority to deny. It's already done. My father wasn't finished. He turned to Helena. "I also took the liberty of looking into your financial situation. Your mortgage is held by Sentinel Bank, which is a subsidiary of one of my companies. Foreclosure proceedings will begin Monday morning." Helena actually staggered. Beatrice grabbed her mother's arm. "Mom, the house! He can't take our house." My father looked at her. "I can, and I will. Additionally, I'll be making some calls to ensure that everyone in your social circle knows exactly what kind of people you are. The kind who assault a defenseless woman at their own party." Nathan finally found his courage and rushed over. "Sir, Mr. Lancaster, I didn't know. I never imagined. I can explain." My father held up one hand, and Nathan stopped talking immediately. "You watched them destroy her. You did nothing. What kind of man are you?" Nathan turned to me, tears in his eyes. "Victoria, please, I'm so sorry. I should have—" I found my voice then, stronger than I'd heard it in months. "Don't. We're done." My father put his arm around me. "Let's go home, sweetheart. You don't belong here. You never did." He walked me to the Rolls-Royce, and I glanced back once. Helena had collapsed into a chair, crying. Beatrice stood frozen in shock. Gregory was on his phone, frantically calling someone. Nathan was on his knees on the lawn, but I felt nothing looking at him. The other guests were recording everything on their phones. This would be all over social media by evening. As we drove away, my father held my hand. "I'm sorry I didn't come sooner," he said quietly. "I should have checked on you more. I should have known." I cried into his shoulder. "Why didn't you tell me? About the money, the company, everything." He sighed. "I wanted you to have a normal life, to be loved for who you are, not what I have. Clearly, I made a mistake." The next 6 months were a blur. I filed for divorce immediately, and Nathan didn't contest it. He couldn't afford a lawyer anyway. Gregory had cut him off financially. I moved into a beautiful penthouse my father owned in the city. He helped me start my own boutique, something I'd dreamed about but never thought possible. We used my mother's name for the store. It became successful faster than I imagined. My father was right about Gregory's company. It collapsed exactly when he predicted. They lost everything: the estate, the cars, their social standing. Last I heard, they were living in a small apartment across town. Helena tried to reach out dozens of times. Emails, calls, even showing up at my boutique once. Security removed her. Beatrice tried too. She sent a long apology letter explaining that she'd been influenced by her mother and that she was sorry for everything. I read it once and deleted it. Nathan sent flowers every week for 2 months. I returned every single one. Some people don't deserve forgiveness. Some people deserve to live with the consequences of their cruelty. The final twist came about 8 months after everything happened. A young woman came into my boutique for a job interview. I was in my office reviewing applications when my assistant brought her in. The woman was well-dressed, nervous, clearly needing the work. She sat down and we made eye contact. It was Beatrice. Her face went from hopeful to absolutely horrified. She didn't recognize the owner's name on the application. "Victoria," she whispered. I leaned back in my chair and smiled calmly. "Hello, Beatrice." Application denied. I watched her leave, and I won't lie, it felt good. I'm in a different place now. I've learned to set boundaries. I've learned that my worth isn't determined by other people's opinions. I'm dating someone new, someone kind, who would never let anyone hurt me. My father and I have dinner every Sunday, and I finally understand why he worked so hard all those years. He was building something for us, for our family. And yes, sometimes karma needs a little help from a billionaire father, but the universe has a way of balancing things out. Never underestimate someone based on their appearance or their humble background. The person you humiliate today might be connected to the person who controls your future tomorrow. If this story gave you the satisfaction you needed, hit that like button and subscribe for more incredible revenge stories. Drop a comment below and tell me, what would you have said to Helena and Beatrice if you were in my shoes? Thanks for watching, and remember, treat everyone with respect because karma is always watching, always.